So while he's getting the water going, here are the other ingredients that go into this. We have butter, 1 stick of sweet butter. We have a little bit of vanilla for flavoring, a tablespoon of superfine sugar, and we want to use the superfine so that it dissolves readily, don't we, Chef?
Sure.
So we want to get the water going to a little bit, just under the boil. So what should we know about putting the butter in? What do we have to achieve here?
Well, you don't want to burn yourself, so you just do this gently and have the butter melt completely.
And when the butter is melted completely, then we're going to do what?
We're going to add the sugar.
So let me give a pinch of salt. We just want a little bit of salt to this. You know, these cream puffs, every time I make them, I think about the Italian holidays where these are used a lot, especially on March 19th, which is the Feast of St. Joseph. You often see cream puffs, or sfinge, as they're sometimes called. Some people like to call them zeppole. So they go by various names, and they can have various fillings. Okay, that looks good. I think we can now take the flour.
Let's put the sugar in.
Put the sugar in, and the vanilla. I want to take that off the heat, and we're going to put in the flour. And you want to grab the spoon?
Yes.
The flour goes in, and you really want to mix that well. Now, what we want to achieve here is a paste that moves away from the sides of the pan. Let's do 1 egg. At first, when you're doing this, it'll look like it's all separating, but by the time you put the last addition of egg in here, this is all going to come together. Egg, I'm going to save a little bit of that egg white, and now you can see what's happening here. We're getting a little bit more of a shine to our dough. Okay, I'm going to turn that off now, and now you have a parchment-lined baking sheet. Or you could butter and flour a baking sheet if you didn't want to use parchment. But I think parchment is a baker's best friend, don't you?
It is. Yep, parchment is perfectly fine. You could use a sill pad if you have that at home. Parchment is good.
And now you twist the top end of the bag so nothing falls out of the top, right, Chef?
That's right. Yep. Your one hand controls the pressure, the other hand guides the tip.
Okay, and how big are we going to make these?
How about 1.5 inches?
Okay. We could make them even bigger than that. You know, whenever I make these, I think of this cake that is made, the French make a cake called the Saint-Honoré using these cream puffs.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. So, ready for the oven, which is now on at 450 degrees. We want to cook these for about 12-15 minutes at that temperature, and then we're going to lower the temperature to about 350 and cook them for an additional maybe 10 minutes. We'll just have to see. So we want to start with some milk. So you want 3 cups of milk. You could use low fat if you wanted to, but this is whole milk. So 3 cups of milk, your choice, whole or low fat. And while the milk is heating, you want to combine your dry ingredients. So what do we have, Chef?
We have sugar, flour, cornstarch, and a little bit of salt.
And a little bit of salt. And now we're going to whisk in those eggs, Chef.
Yep.
And the reason none of this is going to scramble is because we have cornstarch and flour in here. So, Chef, we can take that off flame now.
Yep.
And we want to add a little bit of almond extract in there, just for some added wonderful flavor. And a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon of butter. Put in about a teaspoon of the almond extract. And just get that really well mixed. I like to do this the day before, actually, overnight. So that goes in the fridge, and then what you're left with, Chef, is this. Look at how nice that looks. Nice and thick. Look at how beautiful and creamy that is. Now this beautiful cream goes in. All right, so that looks really good. It's lightened that up considerably. But look at how beautiful that is. Look at where that pastry cream stays, right where you plop it. So that's how you do the classic filling for cream puffs. But how about that wonderful chocolate that you were telling me about?
Yes, we'll have some glaze for it.
Okay, good. I'm in heaven. Look at what we have here. That gorgeous looking chocolate. Now this is Italian chocolate, right?
That's right. It's Amidei from Tuscany.
And what did you do here, just so we all know?
It's just heavy cream and chocolate. And you bring the heavy cream to a boil and pour it over the chocolate and blend. And
it's beautiful. And the shine on that is gorgeous. Ah,